it is okay. So allow me to first of all greet you and thank you for coming. And I want to say to you, you have invested your time wisely. And as we talk about disruption in business, one of the key things that you need to do is disrupt yourself first. Because if you don't disrupt yourself, then the space to disrupt your business line might be very difficult. So I want to really thank you for coming to attend this particular event. My name is Dr. Duri. I run a company called International Coaching and Mentoring Foundation, ICMF. That's the company that I run. And precisely my work is to empower individuals. So my work, I understand how much potential lies in individuals. That's the first thing that I do. And then my work is to translate the dormant potential into active potential. That's why I'm here. So I think basically that's how I'm going to introduce myself. I have been in the education sector the rest of my life. I left UZ a long time ago with my first degree, and I went to Mtare Poly. I was teaching there for 13 years. I was at Africa University, taught there for 7 years. I was at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. I taught there for 5 years. And then I came back and then I established this company called ICMF, International Coaching and Mentoring Foundation. So allow me to say this particular topic that we want to discuss here is a very pertinent one around businesses. And your introductions have given me quite some insight, and I will be very specific as I relate to you because I have an understanding of what all of us do here. But allow me to say that when human beings are born, the quest is for financial freedom. Did you know that? That cry that a baby makes when they are born is a quest for financial freedom. All other freedoms come because we have got financial freedom. And financial freedom is not possible, my colleague here, it's not possible. Even if you work 100 years at a particular company, you will not get financial freedom. So I want to say to you, entrepreneurship is the only way you can be financially free. So you are in the right space. However, entrepreneurship also does not come for free. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. There are sacrifices that we need to make in entrepreneurship so that you can actually do so well. And I want to say that the first thing is to grow and develop ourselves. So you need to focus on personal development. What kind of a person are you? What kind of attributes do you have? And I want to say that there are certain attributes that entrepreneurs need to have. And one of the attributes that I will start off with is called mental agility. An entrepreneur needs to have a very versatile mind that is able to shift, from one position to another position. The markets, our markets at the moment have become so volatile. I'm sure that you have heard of the word VUCA. You have heard about VUCA, isn't it? Yeah, so we are in a VUCA environment. And when we say VUCA environment, we are saying it's a volatile environment, it's an uncertain environment, it's a complex environment. And when you say complex, we are saying some of the trends are very difficult to understand. And A on VUCA stands for ambiguous. So the environment has a lot of ambiguity. You cannot tell. It's something that is ambiguous has got many meanings. So you cannot really say this is what is going to happen. So I want us to grow, develop ourselves, and ensure that we've got mental agility. And what is mental agility? I'll simplify that. Mental agility is the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Very simple. It's not very complex. So it is the ability to set aside what you have so that you can introduce new information. It is the ability to go through a process that you have gone through before, but still learn. So at times we have what we call a learning cap. Some of us believe that we have learned enough and all these things I know and I cannot continue to grow. So mental agility is required so that you can be an entrepreneur of the 21st century. I want you also to be able to look back. You see, during the olden days when these guys had these African businesses of having either a shop or a bus company, those days are gone. So you cannot get into business and say, I want to do something that was done in those particular years. That will be an ancient idea and will not work in this particular space. So what is needed really is that we shake the environment, we shake our thinking, and we do a lot around developing ourselves so that we are ready, to understand the complexities of the space that we are in. We are talking about a global market today. So you are going to find that you won't satisfy Zimbabweans only. So I have said that we have issues here. And what are the issues? We have a population in our market, a population that is well traveled, a population that understands international standards. So you cannot run a business and say, I am only attending to Zimbabweans. Yes, there could be Zimbabweans, but Zimbabweans with a flair of international standards. So what you need to do is to up your game so that we meet those particular standards. So as I speak, someone is touching down from Heathrow Airport. They've been interacting with service in that particular country, service that is at a higher level, for example, customer service, very high. And you come here, we are known for giving so many excuses for not delivering on time. And you want to do that, you are going to find that you won't survive. And these are the people who say that entrepreneurship, the business space is difficult. It is not. We need mental agility so that we can look beyond our space, beyond our horizon. Are we there? Good. Now with mental agility, I'll go further and say that you need particular thinking styles. So I'll talk about 6 thinking styles and hope that you'll connect them to what you do. So the first thinking style is called creative thinking. And this is the basis for disruption. If you are a creative thinker, you are going to disrupt the market easily. Albert Einstein, some years back, he said the future belongs to those that are creative. That is years back. That's when he said this statement. And the statement is holding true today in the 21st century. So you might find that even going to school, we are not saying that going to school is bad, but you are going to find that these traditional ways of earning some income might not be relevant today, because of the new environment. And I'm talking about your power of creative thinking. You must be a creative thinker. And I want to say that if you do your biology well, creative thinking was given at birth. The brain is into 2 hemispheres, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. And they say that, the doctors, they say that the right hemisphere is designed for creativity. So what are we saying? We are saying the apparatus for you to be creative is within you. You have it. And we know that the brain is like a muscle. And for those who want to grow their muscles, they go to the gym. And what do? They train. And similarly, when we talk about the right hemisphere where creativity is stored, you also need to work on your brain, jog your brain, exercise your brain so that you can be creative. Are we there? So it's a requirement. So we can't talk of disruption when we are stuck at a level of creative thinking. So that's the number one. Number two, there's something that is called critical thinking. So critical thinking really talks about in-depth analysis of the environment. You need that. You see, certain people just say, no, I'm going to do this because I've got so much money. I'm going to buy cars and sell cars. But I want to say to you, you need to be a critical thinker. Someone said they are data analysts here. I heard that. And I want to say that critical thinking gives us a very powerful opportunity to analyze data. Because data analysis today is key. It's not going to school and going through a computer program or a degree program called data analysis. It's for you to be able to see. For example, my colleagues here, they say they are into construction. And I might want to ask, where are they marketing? What is the demographics of that particular place? So I was sharing with a group yesterday, and I said, you cannot have a preschool in Grindel. You cannot run a preschool in Grindel today. You cannot establish a preschool in Grindel today. Do you agree with me? Why can't you have a preschool in Grindel? I have money, I want to do business, maybe I've decided that education is good and I've decided on preschool. Can I establish a preschool in Grindel? I hope we are following. I want us to interact on some of these things.
The population is
babies.
Huh?
Babies.
So can you have babies in Grindel? So you're going to find that predominantly the population in Grindel, there are people that are running empty nests today. You know empty nests? Yeah, they are running empty nests. They are retired. But if I go to Madokero, I go to these new places and set an ECD center there, I will get clients. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Yeah. So all this is about big data. It's about data analytics. It's about you having to analyze the market and say what is happening. But beyond that as well, my sister here was talking about digital marketing. And from what she said, I think she is a guru in that area. So on which platforms are you posting your adverts? So who told you that is the right platform? So why are you posting on TikTok? So we want to do things that are a bit scientific in business in the 21st century. We don't want to throw flyers everywhere and litter our environment. We need to study first the market and say, this is what I'm going to do. So who is on Instagram? Who is? What are the demographics? What are the statuses of the people that are on Instagram? So you need to understand that. So I was saying, I was looking at the second thinking style, which is called critical thinking. If you are going to disrupt our markets, you need to be a critical thinker. Number three, you need to be an analytic thinker as well. You need to be able to look at a scenario, analyze it, try to employ some scientific techniques for you to analyze and say, is it real? Is it going to sustain? Business is to sustain. Is it going to last? And I say these things with a full understanding of the Zimbabwean population. You are going to agree with me. There was a period yezviuta makamboinzwa riri vamwe vakatosiya mabasa kuita zviuta but zvakazopera, so you can't go back to work now because there was no analytic consideration of a particular business line and how you have to market that one. Are we there? So we need some level of analytic thinking. And then I want to introduce what is called systems thinking. So there's a way of looking at the environment, and it's called systems thinking. Systems thinking is looking at how you can connect to other industries. Systems thinking says, don't look at yourself in isolation of the entire space. Who can you connect to if you are in market, if you are in construction? Who can you partner with? So that's another thing that I'm also going to talk about as we talk about the models and their requirements. One of the requirements in disruption modeling is to do with the partnerships. But what I know about my Zimbabwean folk is that ayo unongochona kuti ayo ndeyangu company yacho, like someone I had ndeyangu company yacho, and you are struggling and you are alone. But you can partner with someone. They can be a passive partner, they can be an active partner, and your company can flourish and you are benefiting, less stress, less everything. But some of us want to be there. And all these other ailments, BP, sugar, stroke, and everything, because you are overthinking, because you want the title of ownership as the sole proprietor of that particular enterprise. And we are saying today, in smart business modeling, that is not important. You just need to ensure that you are earning something that is adequate because you have taken advantages of these linkages, leveraging, on other people. So networking and partnerships are very important. And systems thinking allows us to do that. We need to think broader beyond ourselves. Think about others as well. Look at how we can do work well, without 100% ownership. Are we following? Right. And I'm hoping it's making sense. So I want to go further on this one and just give you an example of something that I was talking about in Chegu too. I do some consulting with miners there. So if you are into mining and this claim has got papers, this claim is yours. What you need to do is to invest in prospecting. You can actually hire a South African company, very expensive. Pangori pasango pakadaiso. Otouya prospecting company yotoita yonyora a very powerful prospecting report about your place, and informing that underneath here we have a reserve of maybe 2 million. So you can be a millionaire without even digging down. Did you know that? So you take that report, you attach it to your company, and you explain how you want the shares to be structured, and you sell the shares on the basis of the prospecting report. I hope you are following. Are you following? Yes. So you can sell some shares for 1 million, and this 1 million goes into your account. Per 1 million you wautanga kutenga machine, wautanga kuita say. But there are people with so much claims, but they don't know what is under, because what is your guarantor is a proper prospective analysis report that tells someone who is an investor that no, here we have got so much resources. So I'm talking about systems thinking, that we need really to broaden our thinking. And then there is another thinking style which is called adaptive thinking. So today you also want to appreciate that we will not just run organizations because non-dene business you want to say, what is the environment like? What is the environment demanding? And you want to adapt. And this adaptation is purely what I've been talking about. At times, it's not about ownership of the claim. Because when they buy 60% of your shares on your claim, it means you are no longer the one with the bigger voice. You get it? But you know, in 2 million business. But no, most of us here we've got claims. But people now, but you don't know what is underneath. And when we want to disrupt, one of the key requirements of disrupting in business is for you to have a scientific inquiry of everything that you are going to do. Atidi kuita thumbsuck. So there's something that is called thumbs up. Just thinking, widely without any proper analysis to say, I'm coming from here and this has been done, this assessment has been done, this gives me this. So we want to be adaptive. And the environment requires us to be a bit analytic, a bit scientific. You cannot You cannot attract an investor when they ask you, so how much is your reserve? And then you say, I don't know. You cannot. So you want, so adaptive thinking allows us also to, apply the scientific strategies so that we can be marketable, and we can have partners, global partners who appreciate these things. And then the last thinking style that I want to share with you is called innovative thinking style. So innovative thinking style is where we have a tendency of applying technology to all the activities in your business. You want to see that, can't you automate everything? Can't you have everything running, because there is technology for you to do that? Some of us are still struggling, but there is technology to replace whatever you're doing manually. Are you aware of that? So I learned recently that you can schedule posts when you want either to post on Facebook or Instagram. You can actually schedule them the whole month. So this month, this time. But you are there on your phone every time, and you are denying yourself opportunity to grow and to look at other issues of your business. You are getting stuck. Why? Because there is deficiency of technological knowledge. I was talking about mental agility. So we need to continuously grow. So I was talking about thinking styles. We need agility for us to do that. So allow me to talk about the 4 areas that you need to consider as you get into business. I want, so the 4 areas are called PPTE. I'm used to these tools because I'm a coach. So it's called PPTE. So the first P, I want you to consider the people. So wherever you want to transact, I want you to consider the people there. So when I say people, I want you to look at their demographics, their status, their likes, everything that is going on in that particular place. So make a proper analysis. What kind of people are they? Are they academic oriented? Do they want school? Is it about entertainment? What is it? What are their ages? Yes, Generation Z, Generation Y, understand them. What is it that is peculiar to Generation Z, for example? So understand people. Understand the statistics also around people. You said you have a pharmacy, isn't it? So it's important also. You said you are at Gokwe. So I would ask you, why did you establish at Gokwe? What is the population at Gokwe? What is the population of maybe people under 14 years of age? You are going to find that medical attention is very high between 0 to about 12 years. And also gets very high at ages around 50 going upwards. So we are saying understand the people in that environment. Who are they? What can what do the demographics say about them? There is a statistics that we are told about Africa. We are told that at the end of this year, 72% of African population here is about 1.3 to 1.4 billion in Africa. And they are saying 72% of those people by the end of this particular year, there will be young people between 15 and 35 years of age. So as we get into business, we want to be very analytic. So what does that mean? What does that translate to in your business? Can that statistic be manipulated in your business to give you some leverage? Or we don't use it? We are also told that globally, at the end of, on the 30th of June 2024, this year, 72% of the workers were going to be, are now Generation Y. People that were born maybe between 1979 to 1999. Those are the people that are in the space. So for me, because I'm Generation X, so I would know what it means now, because I'm no longer in that particular space. So how can I manipulate so we call it the youth dividend. How can you manipulate that dividend? What businesses? How can you ensure that your business is disrupted towards that particular population and actually make enough for you? So I want you to appreciate that you need to study the people that are in that particular place. And then the second P has to do with processes. Understand what processes are taking place globally. And I want to talk about the issue of global warming. It's a process that is taking place. It's a phenomenon that is there. And it's very important to really understand global warming. How many people have been to Eastgate? Do you know Eastgate? Have you looked around Eastgate? Eastgate was designed not to accommodate any electric air conditioner. Are you aware of that? Yes. And I'm saying in construction, when we talk about disruption, we are moving towards the configuration of our buildings so that they can suit the environmental needs given global warming today. Apatombodi equal, but pinda umomon's goti bunotonora say mvura dzedze maruva and so on. It was designed like that. And we are saying the idea is to move in that particular direction. So processes as well, there's an issue of carbon emissions as well that is actually taking place. And so how do we do business that will also meet those particular global trends, global processes that are actually taking place? I also want you to understand market, the market dynamics as well. To do with the Bitcoin and the plastic money and so on. So all these processes you need to understand for you to strategically position your business so that you are disrupting. Disruption is a process where we are moving away from the traditional application of the things that we know in our businesses. And then T, I want to talk about technology. And yes, this one is clear. It will be like I'm preaching to the converted. Technology. So when WhatsApp was introduced, I was one of the people who refused to use WhatsApp because I thought it was not very professional. Being a person who wants to sort of live a very professional life, I said no. But today I'm on WhatsApp more than most of you guys. Why? Because if you don't adapt, you get extinct. You know the dinosaur concept, isn't it? We are told that there was an animal called the dinosaur, and it did not live to see today because it resisted adaptation. So technology will always be part of us. But I also want you to look at the downside even of technology. There is AI today, and AI is taking up some of the functions that human beings were doing, some of the functions that other processes were being done using the manual way. And I want to say that accounts, for example, accounts, my friend, I heard you are in accounts and so on. So you need to disrupt fast. There is need for you to quickly move on disruption before the environment takes care of what you are doing. Is it making sense? So in Zimbabwe, we have got these post offices. Ever studied about post offices? So in Zimbabwe, we have a powerful network of post office. There is in every district, there is a post office building that is there. And it was very strategic, very strategic. But technology and stamps and letters became absolute. And no one is going to send a letter today. And as a result, they found themselves struggling in that particular business. Now they are white elephants, wherever they are. So it's the same thing. We are talking about technology here. You need to understand technology. AI can do most of the things. Those of you in graphic designing, do you know that you can just give AI that I want a flyer with people walking, they are wearing green, and the flyer must have this particular title, and the flyer is actually generated by AI. Are you aware of that? So would I need a graphic designer in the next year or two? So if you are in graphic designing, printing, and so on, disruption is the thing to do. You need to transact business in a very different way. I also want to say with AI, you can do most of these processes, applications, using AI. And there is need for us to see whether we are still safe or we need to disrupt. Tototora AI, Toto Ishandisa Isis. Through AI and make sure that we are friendly to AI. We actually are not fighting AI because we might not win that particular war. Are we there? So I was talking about P, T, and I was saying on T is about technology. As a business person, you must have some understanding of technology and how you can manipulate technology to your advantage. Technology was meant to simplify the processes that we do. So don't continuously live in the complex ancient period where you are struggling. They say work smarter than working harder. So you are in the office until late, you are tired and so on, and you can't apply your brains to new business. And then E is for environment. E is for environment. So there are many things that are happening in our space around the environment. And one of the big businesses around environment is called waste management. We need to disrupt towards that direction. So I analyze and say all these cars that are being imported from Japan, you know, after 2 years, 3 years, you know, it's no longer functioning, and people then dump it. So what will happen in the next 10 years? For example, let's look at Zimbabwe. What will happen in the next 10 years? How much space do we need to put all these, you know, junk cars? And we are saying that waste management is one of the key disruptions in the 21st century. And then we have got what we call computer waste. So computer waste is something that is very troubling, something that is of great concern. You have heard even in schools that no, these computers are being phased out, generation whatever. And you know, in Africa, we have a begging bowl syndrome. We are always extending our hands. And those guys are very quick to say, yes, we can see your hand. We are bringing 30,000 computers. And ipapo panotambirwa makompyuta pototambwa vanhu vachitotamba vanhu vachitofara, but makompyuta obva atoramba kuto application imwe haichatoshandi. It means taanawo macomputers aya, asi kwaari kugadzirwa vana vari kuona a dumping space. So you have got all these computers that are absolute now. They can't, you know, take on Windows 10 that is there today. So what will happen in the final analysis? So waste management is very key. So we talk about these things, and we also want to look really at our environment as we look at the vegetation and everything. I want you to realize that our environment is very important because no source of oxygen. And what are we doing? You are going to find that we are moving fast, either buildings and everything else, and we surely and in the shortest period of time, you are going to find that we will have no space with trees at all, because every space has been taken either for land development, housing, either for construction, for businesses. But we need to ensure that we leave that particular space to allow us to continuously have an environment that is sound. And I've always said that the environment that we have today, we have borrowed it. we have a responsibility in the future to make sure that the young people get that. So I thought I would share with you PPTE. Are we there? So now I want to talk about disruptions, and I want to talk about the characteristics. So as we disrupt, what is it that you need? What are the characteristics of a disrupting tendency in business? And so I'll share with you, number one is innovation. How are you applying technology to your work? Ask yourself, how can I apply technology to my work? My colleague, you are in the what? You are in the pharmaceutical, isn't it? Are you aware that in the Western countries, people get medicines through drones? So there's no one coming to the pharmacy. They go on their web, they connect with the pharmacy, and they procure whatever medicines, and a drone is sent to drop medicines at their place. Innovation. So the idea is, you know, some of these things, when you talk about them, you might think, do you think that will come to Zimbabwe? It's far-fetched. But we have seen a technology taking over when initially we thought it was not going to be like that. At some point, I think when I finished school, I did a course on motor vehicles, and I was reading this, and I was saying, this guy is crazy. So this guy was saying that there will be driverless cars at some point. This was about 1990. I was reading this. He said there will be driverless cars. Cars without a driver. Cars where you put coordinates, and you sit and you read a newspaper, and the car will take you to work. And we laughed when we were doing this particular program, and we're laughing and saying the author was Hillier, and we're saying Hillier is crazy. How can he say that? But today, if you go to China, some construction places in China, if you Google, you are going to find that those heavy vehicles that are there moving, moving earth from one point to another at open cast minings, they're actually driverless vehicles. There's no driver there, but the vehicle is moving. So just want to allow you to appreciate that this technology that we talk about is not very far-fetched. And then number two, as you disrupt, you need to say is how accessible is my business? The idea is to make your business accessible to the people. You see, in the past, yes, we used to walk kilometers just to go to a shop to buy. But as you disrupt, because disruption is about moving away from traditional ways of transacting business, you want to find out whether you can make your business so accessible without even those people moving an inch. How can you make your business accessible? So accessibility is the second thing. And then number three, we are in Africa, and affordability becomes real. Low disposable incomes is a characteristic of this particular continent. So you can't transact business, you can't set up a business the way you would set up in the Western world, where disposable incomes are higher. We have got low disposable incomes. So, however you are going to disrupt, however you are going to introduce new ways of transacting business, is it still going to be affordable? How many people can afford it? I was talking about data analytics that other time. What is the poverty data line at the moment in Zimbabwe? You must understand, because we are talking about disposable incomes. Are people going to afford your business? Is your business under wants or needs? That's another thing that you also need to find out. Do the people need it? Because people, when we have low disposable incomes, the tendency is to go for bread and butter issues only. Those are two things to cover. So you want to check and find out whether it's affordable. Number four, it's about convenience. You disrupt towards it being convenient. Something that is convenient, it means it meets the needs of the user. Something that is convenient, it means it is it is such that it gives the value that the user or the client is expecting from that particular activity. So how convenient are you going to make your business as you disrupt? And then, of course, the last one is scalability. I always talk about sustainability, and when I talk about entrepreneurship, always think about how your business can continue even beyond you. I talk about generational businesses. I talk about thinking generationally when we are running businesses. And when we talk about scalability, you are saying, can you increase your business? Can you allow maybe your business to have networks even outside the country? You see, some of our businesses are very much confined in that particular area. You can't go beyond that particular geographical area, and you are saying that's not scalable. Every business must be scalable as we disrupt. And scalability will actually give us a generational consensus. It will give us a generational business. I want you to read about the McDonald's. I think you know this company, isn't it? We hear that it's running on the 39th generation at the moment. So you can imagine. 39th generation. Mwana we mwana. But we are saying that iwe ukangorwara 2 days, business ratofara. Wakutonzi ma rentals up because are squid. Because apana pfungwa dzekuti business rite scalable, business rite sustainable, business rite generational. Should think about that. How nice would it be when your grand are talking about you to say, no picture yacho, no zitete guracho raka create, you know, that kind of thing. This is what the McDonald's are doing. Thomas Mickles as well. We have got our own outlets here. I hear also that it is the 9th or 11th generation now. So scalability is very, very important. So disruption is what we have to do. We have no choice. Don't lag behind. Disruption is about ensuring that we do businesses differently. So the other thing that we use disruption for is to conquer cutthroat competition. So today in our space, in the business space, there is so much competition. And do you know why there is competition? Have you ever studied that? There is competition because everyone are with the same thing. Mabero. So corner ya Mbuya Nehanda, corner ya Jasot, corner is the same thing. So disruption will help you to conquer competition. This cutthroat competition will be a thing of the past if you disrupt the way you are doing business. And of course, I'm going to give you a few examples of businesses that have disrupted. You would understand that, I'm not sure, I see some of you are quite young. So there was a taxi business, Rixi. And that business, they were, in Harare here, I don't know how many they were. At every corner, panenge paine 10 zangadziri, like was it maroon or so? Kind of blue. Akazara mataxi. And izozvi kune chinhu chiri kunzi in drive makambochinzwa. It's disrupting. In drive kana uchita taxi business, it's a disruptor. He's saying no, you get us on application. When you get there, you negotiate, and it's safe, and so on. It's registered, and so on, and so on, and so. It's disruption. The Uber that we hear about, even in SA, it was also a business that disrupted the taxi business. So the idea is, if you don't disrupt, you might find yourself in the streets, and that will not be good at all. So allow me to just reinforce these points, and I want to say there is need for you to embrace technology. Let's embrace technology. Let's understand, let's learn, let's invest, our learning in technology. So there are subjects that everyone must do in school today when you talk about business, entrepreneurship. One of them is technology. It's a must for everyone. Grade 1 up to university, we must do technology. But beyond that, as a business person, there is need for you to embrace. When we say embrace, we are saying look at what applications are there, how you can manipulate applications. But what we are told as well, there are people who can design applications, isn't it? So it means you can design an application that meets the demands or the needs of your business, so that then it can be convenient, it can allow accessibility, it can allow all those things that we talked about. But you need to embrace technology. Vanhu vanotogadzira ma-application ekutoti munhu atori uku anokwanisa kutobhadhara, anokwanisa kuita everything, anokwanisa kuita access, your organization, your business when you are not there. So my point here is to say we need to embrace technology. And I'm saying that there are so many tools. And I was going to ask you, I normally ask people in my presentations, you all know your APMA tools. The APMA tools are kushandisa. The APMA tools are kushandisa at the moment in your business. What technological tools are you using in your business to just enhance efficiency? And as long as we've got some tools, it's easier for us to disrupt, to make sure that we are doing our business differently from other people. Are we there? And then number 2, I want to talk of focusing on customer service. So I'm not sure how long you've been running your business, but one thing that I talk about is, have you found the time to ask your customers what they want? Have you done that before? Have you discovered, have you gotten feedback from your customers in terms of how your business is treating them? Is there convenience? Is there accessibility? Is it affordable? Is there professionalism? Have you ever entered into that dialogue with your customers? And I know most of us, it's no. And if it's no, you know what you are doing? You are dictating to the customers. You are telling the customers that you have to take this one. Ndokara ndakataura ndakadzidza paboarding ndo pausina choice. Kana usingade sadza rekudh rine beans unorara nenzara. So there are 2 choices. Either you sleep on an empty tummy or you eat that. And in business it's no longer about that. Maybe let me just share with you that the characteristics of the customer of the 21st century have changed. Let's talk about 5 or 7 things. So number 1, you are going to find that the customer of today is well informed. Why are they well informed? There is a university for free. You know it, isn't it? Yeah, there's free university. Munhu asingade kuwana knowledge mazuwano haadi. Knowledge iripo paGoogle. So we are saying that the customers of today, they are well informed. That's number 1. Number 2, they know their rights. These customers can take you for litigation. You are aware of that, isn't it? They can take you for litigation if you don't provide what they expected. So that's the second characteristic of the customer of today. The third one is they are well traveled. Someone who's well traveled, munhu akafamba nzvimbo dzakawanda ane problem, because nyaya yechoice yake yekunzwisisa choice yake yatosiyana. You are no longer serving only the local market. So they are well traveled. And the other point is that they have so many tastes now. Their tastes have resulted in them having so much choices. Not because they are bad, but for some reason. So I want you to appreciate that the customer that you are dealing with, let's understand the market. We are dealing with a very different customer altogether. And how can we ensure that as we disrupt we meet the needs of this particular individual. So issue ye customer care zvinonzi yakatanga ichinzi customer care, and then it evolved into customer service. They were changing things there. It evolved into customer service excellence. Some certain things had changed. It evolved into customer experience. Now they had found it important to interact with the customer, either through customer surveys, feedback forms, comment books, these suggestion boxes and so on. So they said it was important to find out how the customer is experiencing. But the 21st century today, the approach regards customer is called CRM. No approach rushans. Tunoiziva ndiri kuri kushandiswa inonzi customer relationship management. Haisi nyaya yekuti atenga here nhasi, inyaya yekuti you are creating a relationship. So like she said, all of us are all your customers. Did you understand that? So whatever you do, whatever business you are into, I am your customer. The person sitting next to you is your customer. So the question here would be, so how are you managing the relationship? Saka relationship inotangirwa kumanagwa pakuti iwewe pachako, what is your disposition? How do you carry yourself around? Panombotaurwa zvinhu zvana grooming, etiquette, deportment, izvo zviya civility, diplomacy, communication yako chaicho yakaita. So when I came here, no one greeted me. No one greeted me, except here. Just looking at me like I'm a stranger and so on. But I can transact with your business. So customer relationship management is appreciating what the person that you are sitting close to can be your customer. So everyone is a potential customer, but you can convert a potential customer into a transacting customer by how you connect. So I wanted you to appreciate that. And also around customer service, I also want to talk about a very important aspect: personalization. Very key. How do you know that this person is a teacher? So as I prepare maybe my elevator pitch, as I prepare to go to speak to teachers, how do I package it so that they can feel that it is personalized? Personalized because it belongs to you. So when you are marketing generically, like to everyone, no one will realize that they are being referred to. So when you personalize in your marketing, you actually draw attention to that particular. If you are going to talk about lawyers, so this package is for lawyers. So in that marketing, then I make sure that my language, my everything, my flair actually meets, the needs of this particular group. So in customer service, issue of personalizing are very key. And I also want you to do a lot of, it's called analytics. Find out, research, look at, try to stratify your customers. Makore mangani, wakaita say, wakaenda kuchikoro here, our status wakamira say, ayo, saka toenderei kunonamisa mapoto kuborote. Amentukunzisana here. Then at times we end up saying that there is no business. There's no business, but you are going to the wrong place. So take that business, you go the other side of Samora, isn't it? You will find that you might need 10 more people to help you in your business. Because the demographics there, the analytics there, the data there shows that this is where your business, will do so well. So it's also very, very important. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is innovating business models. You need to understand the business models that are there. Look at your business model. See what you can do to disrupt it. We are talking about innovation here, and I've said it. How are we applying technology to our business? Ndezvipi zvinhu zvinokwanisa kutongoitwa kana nerobots, pangave pa reception, pangave pai. Do you need someone to do it for you? Or you can actually, it can be done better. You see, the difference between the machine or technology and human beings is efficiency. That's the difference. When a machine is programmed a particular way, it has got efficiency of 90% going upwards. It will do exactly what you're programmed to do. So check how you can actually bring that into your business. How can you, so business models, maybe also share that there's one business model, yekuti tinokwanisa ku offer anozima freebies. We can offer freebies. In some areas, it's called pro bono interactions. You can actually say, we are going to do this for free for you, maybe for this particular community. But as you do that, they taste your product, they taste your service, and then they come and they pay even for the one that you gave them for free. I hope you are getting it. They will pay for it. Because remember, in business, there's nothing for free. It's terminology that we are using. We are saying, this is for free, taste this one. So when they taste, so the other thing is nyaya ye drugs yekunzi no muno are addict. It's a business model as well. So I don't take it in the drug context. In your product, how can you make people addictive to your product? Some of you, or here I can actually see, why? Because you are addicted to it now. You want tea. Because and tea. And tea of water, right? What they've done is modeling yagari addiction. You taste this product, you have it, and it becomes part of you. And now you can't do without it. So you can imagine when you are addicted to Coke, so Coke becomes $2. They will actually pay for that. So we are saying that one model, free subscriptions can actually do. And then the second one has to do with promotions. So you can actually do a lot of promotions. When we say promotions, you are offering a product and there is either a free service or there are certain things that come free. So as a package. To know you buy two and then we'll give you one for free. It's a promotion. So you can use that as well to disrupt if it fits in your business. Right. Allow me to move on and yeah, I want to talk about sustainability in disruption, sustainability and social responsibility. And I want to say that it is important that sustainable in terms of the environment, sustainable in terms of business. Remember, business was designed for profit. And the question here is, are you making profit yourself? Is there a profit that you are making in that particular business? And I want you to also look at social responsibility. I've said it. Even in business, we have a responsibility to the forthcoming generations. And are you allowing your business to allow the environment, physical environment, to be such that the subsequent generations will find it very well? So as I conclude, I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, number one, you are in the right space, and I want to encourage you to continue. The business landscape is no longer the same. The terrain has changed. If you don't change, you won't survive. So the terrain has changed, so change. And this change, we are referring to it as disruption. Disruption, we are saying, is a way of doing business in a non-traditional manner. Different. And secondly, I want to say that yes, financial freedom can only occur if you are an entrepreneur. So there is a reason for that sweat that you are going through. Someone should not discourage you. There is reason. I have heard people who have gone into business, they found the space a bit difficult, gone back to work, and they are now complaining they want to go back to business and so on. I want you to do this thing, continuously learn And Honai Magadzirwa this presentation for free. Asindula kuti tinzwisisana nditika tisaite ma business people who want freebies. Freebies are not good. Do you know why freebies are not good? Some of you, whether you got the notes or not, you are not going to utilize them. If you pay for a program, you want to see the results of the program. I've also said the days of Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, Van Damme, they are gone. This attitude of doing business alone, you need to partner with others. Even in this networking platform, you can actually find someone that you can partner with, because your businesses are either complementary or they are supplementary, and you actually work together. But over and above everything, please, rambai muchidzidza, continuously learn. And Google izo zvizi tikada kunyatsotaura nevanhu Google vamwe vatinoziva tikada kubvunza kuti iwewe unogara uri pama-platforms api tinototaurirwa. Do you know that? Unfortunately, Google has got every information about you. Did you know that? Are you safe? I don't think so. So Google knows. Izo zvizi ukaenda paFacebook wogoenda pakati, they know that a person like this in Zimbabwe is actually reading this. But what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, as I take my seat, I want to say to you, continuously learn, invest in yourself. If you become a better person, your brand, your personal brand will grow. And when your personal brand grows, your service and your product also grows. Ndoda kukutaurai kana uchitengesa kana ma-iPhone chaiwo ukapinda mkampani uchitengesa ma-iPhone, chinhu chinotanga kutengeswa ndiwe. You can have a very good product, so unotengesa iwewe. So kana usina uchine ma rough edges, diamond risati rapolishwa area arina value. Say diamond rakadi rakapolishwa. Thank you so much.
So Q&A,
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Duri. This is very enlightening. Do you have any questions for Dr. Duri?
Hi, Doc. Nice meeting you again.
Doctor.
Yes.
It's a small world, huh?
Yes. What are 3 classical errors that you see consultants-based business owners make in Zimbabwe, and what can we do about those classical errors?
Right. Okay. So 3 areas that consulting people. I've been doing consulting the greater part of my life. So one thing that we do is the solo approach. So one classical error is that we want to work alone. So we are working in silos. But I cannot be good in all areas. I'm one person who's not very good with finances, anything that is financial. But if I were to partner maybe with you and you are very good in that, we can actually be a formidable force. So one area that I see is, we want to ride it solo. And the second thing is people that are in consultancy, they rarely shift or improve their products. So if they've been offering job evaluation the same way they've been doing it for years, they want to continue doing that. And it does not give value now to the client. Why? Because the terrain has actually shifted. And maybe the third one would be issues of giving feedback and retainer relationships with clients. Many consulting individuals or organizations, they have a hit and run approach. They just want to do things for you one time and they are gone. Next time you are doing it with another person, and in consultants we always say that, so who did this job evaluation? This is wrong. And the whole process starts all over again. But what we need to do is a retainer, a longer term relationship with clients so that we get to understand them. And we can also measure, our effectiveness. The client can also appreciate the return on their investment to say, we have been with this particular, consultant, and our company has, the volume of sales has shifted, from A to B. So those are the three.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Duri, for the presentation. I request the results for the consultant in the market, having an idea and disclose it first, because it's at the University of Zimbabwe Innovation Hub.
So, my question is on, of course, it's a university setup, so I understand they have legal framework regarding my idea not being stolen. Because my fear is if I tell people my idea, they're going to steal it. Because I think it's a bright idea. So how do I approach it? Because I don't have money. I'm just a recent graduate and I'm trying to badanza. So how do we approach it? Because maybe Muhammad, you download my NDA online, but I need a lawyer, maybe pro bono, but in Zimbabwe on home, they don't want pro bono, something like that. How do I approach legal side of things? Because it's a consulting firm solving a problem of unemployment in Zimbabwe. Thank you.
What's the name?
So yes, I hear you. So pane issue here, intellectual property rights, and in Zimbabwe there is an organization, the international organization, I think is called ARIPO. It gives intellectual security and safety to anyone, either with a patent, with an idea, so that you can secure it and no one else can claim it. It's a very relatively new area in Zimbabwe. Africa University offers a degree in that, and they are trying to bring awareness to everyone. So the little idea that we are winayo, inonzi mauyu chayo kugadzira mauyu ne drink, zvinodependa kuti iwe une mari yakaita sei. Unokwanisa kutotanga, but kukauya munhu ane mari yakawanda, anobva angotora. But in intellectual property rights are there for you. Right. Secondly, unenge uine dilemma kana usina mari asi uine idea, dilemma iyoyo. And most of us find ourselves in that particular dilemma. It's rare where you find someone who is moneyed and they have an idea. It's rare. You find an idea, but deficiency in financial resources. So half the time, you need to be very protective of your idea. Who are you talking to? What trust and everything. So there is a Zimbabwean organization. I can't remember the name. It's affiliated to ARIPO, the global one.
I think I'll go to ARIPO.
You know where ARIPO is. Go to ARIPO, you talk to those guys, and and then register. But of course, they also want you to pay for you, for the patent to be, So the second step would be communicate a value idea yako kune munhu ari trustworthy, akaiona kuti iri valuable, aine ma resources, investor in it, mongonyorerana moenda kuma lawyer, motaurira. But in business, particularly consultancy, one of the occupational hazards in consultancy is your theft of your intellectual property is actually there. Ndiso saka asiyotanga wanyora ozisa pako iwewe papa unozoti ndepako womeka sure kuti unazo, and then take it to either ARIPO, see how much they can charge you for that security. Ndiso. Okay.
Are there any other questions for Dr. Duri? You have a question? No? I have a question for you. That I'm clear on your services that we can come for a presentation, but as a small business owner and I want you to consult for a company, what services would you offer a small company that has, say, 3 to 5 employees?
Okay. Right. So, yes. So we do quite a range of consulting services to entrepreneurs, but of course, something that is very close to my heart is called leadership development. What I want you to know is that when you are an entrepreneur, you are a leader. But the challenge is, do you have the requisite attributes of a leader? I'm talking about decision-making skills. I'm talking about organizational skills, emotional intelligence skills. Are you there? Can you relate with someone? So at times we lose opportunities because we are not, we don't have those particular skills. So I always insist that if you are a leader, madam, you said you have a company, marketing. You said marketing?
No.
Fashion design. So you need leadership skills before you do anything else. So why do you need leadership skills? Remember that you are the visionary, isn't it? So how do you cascade the vision so that others they have a hold onto your vision? It's about leadership. It's about the skill. It's a skill. You know, at times we are struggling with our people, but you know, hands 4 to 5. Popota every day. You have a wrong approach. You see, everyone can work with you as long as they understand where you are going. How can you just push me? I don't understand where you are going. So it is a leadership function to be able to cascade your vision so that everyone gets to understand it. And it's not easy. So that we do, and so we do leadership even at executive level. So where we have got those high decision makers as well, those that are in the board, we also want to grow their leadership skills. So that's the first thing that we do. We also help you to ensure that you are running the business above board. My young man there, he said, "One registration of my companies and so on." What we encourage you to do is, you can't be marketing per Google, per Facebook, per Chichi, and the offer was on Tina tax clearance. So why are you marketing? Why are you marketing? And you are not showing intentionality. You see, when you have your company registered and you have met all the legal requirements, you are showing intentionality. You are very intentional. You know what you want to do, and you are likely to have clients because they see that. So issues of adhering to these legal requirements is something that we also encourage you to do. The other aspects as well of business, we help you in the marketing, just getting to understand what a brand is, brand association. So here I was talking about linkages, and we have seen brand association ichiitwa. You see, when this product came into the market, in the Revive, Yakawuya market, it had fierce competition with Cascade. Cascade yang to Tora market. And the guys, Wakaita Revive, Sakatoida say, Hande ku chicken in, Hande ku insko. Tonoti isisu taku offer Revive yedu at half the price. Ndova bata rana ne insko, ndova baita package $1 my chips ne Cascade ne Revive, sorry. And that it was brand association. Because test everything. So marketing as well, it's not really like the marketing that we know, design flyers, put my banners, talk about this. There is more to it. So we also help you do that as well. And also just establishing a structure in your business. Maybe before I then leave, let me give you these 7 things that I want you to write down. They are important for your company. And they talk about strategy. So I'll do them quickly. It's I call it 7 S's. It's called the McKinsey model. So the first S is called shared vision. A great entrepreneur must be able to share their vision with their people. So shared vision, number 1. Number 2, shared values. So this is another thing as well. What values? Values are guiding principles. Kubasa kwenyu muno guide wanei. Trust, honesty, professionalism, so values. And then number 3, systems. What systems do you put? As we speak, the business at your company is at standstill because you are not there. Because hakuna ma system. Anomirira iwewe kuti utaura kuti aiwa ehe hakuna business rakadaro rosasenik. You must have systems that are running. When you are not there, what should happen? This. People should not be asking you. Izo mari chaiyo ye petty cash iri back pocket kwako. Kwakutodiwa stationary bond rapera kubasa vakatomira izvozvo because there is no petty cash. There are no systems. And then the other S is structure. There must be clear structures. You see, the other thing that I talk about in business, as a employer, come to my company, hakuna munhu my relative. Why should you employ a relative? If you want to help a relative, I'll talk to this guy because I know him. Shamari ndiri mufano wangu. Akadai. Auye kwake. Wake wauya kwangu. But wake anongotreatwa like a worker at my place. Because there is a proper structure, there is a proper system. But we get there, mbuya vashaika, the whole company is away. Because hama yatovhara company. So yes, and then we have got staff. It's important to value your staff. Munomboendesawo kutraining here, vanoitwa sei, vanotreatwa sei. This business, you cannot run it on your own. It's not yours. Staff ndo asset yakakosha. Unoona munhu achiti computer idzi ndakutengerei mnyowani handiti kumbate zvakadai so motikari driver zvakanaka. Unotanga wabata staff first so that they drive the car well. Tawira. And then another S is a strategy. You need a proper strategy. How many S's do we have now? 6. So I said systems. Skills. Skills. Yeah. Thank you. So skills is another one. So what skills matrix do you have? One employer vakaita sei. One skills akaita sei. So zvimwe zvacho zvinongoti dhonzera mumashure. Unenge uine system yekuemploya hama, hautarise skill. Skill yaunotarisa ndeyekuti hama mwana watetere. No skill yaunotarisa. And then poita challenge pabasa. They can't manage because they don't have skills. So you need to ensure that the relevant skills are there. And then the key one is called style. And style, I was talking about leadership. What is your leadership style? Your leadership style informs how business is done at your company. And month end kana yakupera so kana mchida kuona BP yema business people kuti inokwira month end so door rinenge richibhengwa remotikari robhengwa rekuoffice, things are not well. And all this is being vented upon the employees. So how can they perform? And akwana ndiri apfura saka right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Duri.